The first pick.
Hey everybody, Connor Dorney here with Just Baseball, live at the 2025 MLB Draft Combine Day 2 in Phoenix. I'm joined now by James Quinn Irons, outfielder at George Mason University. James, thanks so much for joining us. So for some of the people that might not be familiar with your game, can you kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got to be where you are today?
Pretty much very close to home type guy. I haven't really played baseball anywhere away from about 20 minutes from my house. George Mason, I live right next to George Mason,
Okay.
so 20 minutes away. High school was 5 minutes from my house. Travel ball was 10-minute drive away.
Yeah.
Never did any like big tournaments or anything. Just happened to be blessed with being able to play D1 baseball and have a combine.
Yeah. And is the experience kind of what you anticipated it being, or is it different from what you expected?
Definitely a lot more talking than I thought there would be.
Yeah.
I thought there would be a little more baseball, but I guess I knocked that out yesterday.
Yeah.
It is very cool. Talk to all the teams in the game.
No, well, thank you. I'm sorry to add more talking to your schedule, but I appreciate you being here. So, yes, so you looked great in the cage yesterday. A lot of EVs north of 110. How'd you feel out there?
Good. Aside from my first round, which was a little shaky.
Yeah.
The rest of the rounds felt pretty good. It was nice to hit on a big league field.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. So, I mean, coming into an event like this and getting on the field, like you said, felt a little shaky maybe the first round. It's not a competition environment, a lot of eyes on you. Like, how do you kind of handle that mentally as, preparing and then kind of seeing what it felt like once you got out there?
I mean, personally, I think the first round is just because the combine is more just like a showcase of your like talents.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't usually start off like BP with trying to hit balls as hard as I can.
Yeah.
So I think that just kind of threw me off a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I think the eyes on me isn't like the biggest like problem. It's
Mm-hmm.
more just like trying to do too much in like a certain situation.
Yeah.
Because you generally don't need to.
Right.
In those situations, I think you overthink a lot most of the time, and I think that's what I did. So
Yeah.
Figure that out.
Yeah. And that's got to be distracting to a degree. You've got the big video board up there as you're hitting that's kind of giving you that real-time feedback.
I have never really hit with like metrics like that.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it was kind of like different. I have never hit with like real technology.
Really?
Like,
Yeah.
Just really anything other than like a machine.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was cool. It was cool to see my numbers.
Yeah.
It was sick.
Yeah. Just more about the feel out there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, like you mentioned, I mean, staying close to home, your entire career, is that, obviously the transfer portal and kind of the landscape of college baseball these days, you're a pretty unique case in that sense. I mean, has there ever been a temptation for you to kind of explore what else is out there, or you feel super comfortable in the environment you're in and you feel like that's where you're most successful?
It's not even really about like being comfortable in the environment. I was just, even though I was completely,
Mm-hmm.
it's more just, I feel like the transfer portal kind of slightly ruins like the college game slightly. I feel like it's not right to leave a team that gave me my chance, like my only chance, and put a lot of faith in me. So I've never really thought about leaving.
Yeah. And do you feel like, obviously there's been so much and that being an element of the game, do you feel like there's kind of a system that might work better than what's currently in place?
I mean,
Have you thought about that?
I think you for sure should be able to like transfer as like a grad, like a fifth year, or like if you get like hurt, like something like that. I think you should be able to transfer, but just transferring just because take more thought into like where you went in the first place.
Yeah. Yeah. Having more perspective to know if the reason you're doing it is for the right reasons and it's going to be, setting you up for success.
Yeah.
So heading into this season, now we're kind of towards the end of this process, less than a month until the draft. What were some of your goals coming into the year, and do you feel like you accomplished those, and kind of how has the overall draft process played out for you throughout the spring?
I really didn't have any like draft like goals. I had one statistical goal, which was 100 hits.
Mhm.
Got that 101.
There you go.
Super happy about that.
It counts, even if it's one over.
Last game of the season. But yeah, that was the only statistical goal. Other than that, it was more just keep like a calm mental state the whole season. Don't like ride the roller coaster of emotions that comes with like a long year of baseball. Just try to stay constant in how I feel and be calm the whole time.
Mhm.
That was like the real only goal I had.
Yeah.
And it worked out pretty well.
Now, seeing yourself down the line, in a professional organization, what is your approach to going into pro ball? Do you have like a specific thing that you want to get out of it? Maybe say in your first year that you really want to kind of stick to moving into that. Obviously a very high stress environment and that kind of thing. But is there something you want to accomplish in year one of being a pro player?
I haven't really thought about that. I feel like there's no like difference between like levels in what you should want to accomplish.
Yeah.
I feel like if you want to accomplish something that has to do with results, then you're going to be disappointed like every time.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, I just want to accomplish like a good year of sticking to a solid regimen of working out, being productive, and then results will come with that. It's more just, I don't really concern myself with results as much as I do with like the actual
with the process of it. Yeah. Now, thinking back to your time in college, obviously I had a ton of success at George Mason. Is there a pitcher that you faced throughout your college career that really sticks out as a tough AB for you, or a guy that you'd like to get another crack at, get another chance against?
Talent on Duke. He went to a high school near me. So I had a couple chances to hit off him in high school, and then one chance this year, and I walked, but he only threw fastballs to me, so I was kind of annoyed.
You wanted to break him
up? I
up?
wanted to see what it was like. I wanted to see the full arsenal.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be nice.
Now, moving, beyond the college game, is there somebody at the pro level that you kind of try and emulate, or feel like matches your skill set as a player?
Honestly, no. Surprisingly, I don't actually watch that much baseball.
Yeah.
I watch some college baseball, but I don't watch a lot of professional baseball ever.
Yeah. Don't want to take work home.
Well, I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
But like my entire life is baseball.
Right. Yeah.
I deserve a couple hours away.
Yeah.
At least.
Yeah.
A day. So, but I like Star Wars, Game of Thrones.
Okay.
All that cool stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah. So those are some of your passions off the field. You're a Star Wars guy.
That's my little hobbies.
Okay. Nice. Yeah.
Star Wars lore.
I personally, there's too much for me to keep up with, but what's your favorite Star Wars like franchise, or obviously there's so many of the spin-off shows happening now. So what's your go-to right now?
Honestly, like just YouTube comics, like they just go through like the legends of like Luke Skywalker and stuff like that.
Okay.
A bunch of stuff like that, and Andor's out right now.
Okay.
I think that's just a genuinely good show.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people have told me to watch it. And they say you don't need to be a Star Wars fan to enjoy it.
It's just a good show.
Just a good show.
It's
Okay.
a solid show.
Okay. I will have to check that out for sure.
For sure.
So,
For sure.
Looking back, like I said, we're nearing the end of this process. Draft coming up in less than a month. Is there anything, advice that you would have given yourself as a younger player, or any advice you wish kind of anything wish you'd known ahead of time, essentially?
Yeah.
Before you got to this point.
I mean, I feel like everyone kind of wishes they could tell their younger self to work a little harder. I feel like everyone's just like, come on, get out of bed, just do it. But yeah, I think I try not to like think about that stuff, just because I really don't like living with like any regrets.
Mm-hmm.
Like if I choose something, I'm gonna stick with it,
Yeah.
good or bad.
Yeah.
So I think every decision I've made is pretty much, I guess, what I have to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I don't regret it.
Absolutely. Well, that's a great perspective to have, and keeps you focused on the future. So
Just calm calm mind, chill,
exactly.
just go with the flow.
Exactly.
You know?
You come off as that type of guy, so that's that's definitely a good way to approach life for sure.
Yeah.
But so James Quinn Irons, outfielder out of George Mason University. Thanks so much for joining me today, and best of luck the rest of the
Thanks for
process.
having me.
Yeah,
I appreciate it.